This week on Pyle and Company.
What kind of special hamburger do most restaurants serve in honor of St. Patrick's Day?
I don't know.
A St. Patty.
Bye.
Join both Robert Nash and Jacob Pyle for another exciting half hour of Pyle and Company, which starts right now. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from our studios in Tipton, Indiana, almost live, it's Pyle and Company. With your host, Jacob Pyle. And our man in Indianapolis, Robert Nash. Along with Mr. Nona as himself. And now, here he is, springing into action, the star of Pyle and Company, Jacob Pyle!
Thank you. Thank you very much. Your baby loves you now, so don't make her blue now. You better start being true now. I'm telling you why, because if you break her heart, somebody's gonna come along and steal her away from you. Somebody like me. Let me tell you, friend, I'm not bothering, but I think it's such a sin if you don't treat her right, because if you break her heart, somebody's gonna come along and steal her away from you. Somebody like me. She wants to be held tight now, each and every night now. Better treat her right now. I'm telling you why, because if you break her heart, somebody's gonna come along and steal her away from you. Somebody like me. I hope you listen to now these words that I told you now. These things you better do now, or you will live alone, because if you break her heart, somebody's gonna come along and steal her away from you. Somebody like me will steal her away. Somebody like me. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pyle and Company. My name is Jacob Pyle. Good to have you with us. For those of you who are watching the show right now, you will realize that was not Butch McCain introducing me. Well, unfortunately, our announcer Butch McCain will be on vacation for the next few weeks. However, though, for the next few weeks while Butch is on vacation, we got somebody straight from the beautiful town of Burbank to fill in for Butch. And when I say he's from the beautiful town of Burbank, I'm not joking. From Burbank, California, ladies and gentlemen, filling in for Butch McCain this week is our guest announcer, Steve Freedman. Hey, Steve, welcome to Pyle and Company.
Thank you, Jacob. It's good to be here.
What do you think of Pyle and Company?
Well, I like Pyle and Company. It's a fun and positive show, and I'm glad to be part of something fun and positive.
By the way, Steve, I liked your little pun that you did, seeing as if the first day of spring is tomorrow.
Yep, you are always springing into action, aren't you?
Yep, sure am.
Are you ready for another fantastic show?
Oh yeah, we have a great lineup for you this week. We have our usual cast of regulars with us, our man in Indianapolis, Robert Nash, of course, our guest announcer, Steve Freedman, and the one and only Mr. No Name. We got a good show for you guys this week, and we'll get it underway right after this. Welcome back to Pyle and Company. And now it's time for this week's Poetry in Motion segment. And in this week's segment, we have a couple of St. Patrick's Day poems for you in order to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, which was on Thursday. Here with our two poems this week is my co-host on Pyle and Company, live from Indianapolis, Robert Nash. Hey, Robert.
Hey, Jacob, you know something? I had the most amazing sight that happened to me this week.
Oh, really? What was it?
I was driving around Indianapolis today, and I saw 5 little leprechauns down the street today.
5 leprechauns in Indianapolis? Whew.
Yep, in fact, in order to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, which was on Thursday, I've written a poem about that. Do you want to hear it?
Of course, Robert. We would love to hear it.
Alrighty, here we go. 5 little leprechauns scurrying by my door. 1 jumped away, then there were 4. 4 little leprechauns climbing in my tree. 1 hid in the green leaves, then there were 3. 3 little leprechauns, just a busy few. 1 went for a pot of gold, then there were 2. 2 little leprechauns having lots of fun. 1 hopped over the rainbow, then there was 1. 1 little leprechaun with all his work done. He slipped off for a nap, then there were none. Say, Jacob, you know who else I saw as I went out driving today?
What was that?
St. Patrick himself. In fact, I've written another poem about him. Do you want to hear about that?
Oh, really? St. Patrick himself? Wow, we would love to hear that poem too.
Okay, St. Patrick came from Ireland, a country trimmed with greenet, has the shamrocks and the pipes. Those leprechauns you've seen, those leprechauns will trip you. You'll fall flat on your face. They'll tickle your nose and sour the milk, then find a hiding place. So there you have it, Jacob. I found all these amazing sights on St. Patrick's Day that I can't help but to say, happy belated St. Patrick's Day.
Well, thank you, Robert. It's always a pleasure. It goes to show that you'll never know what could happen, I guess. Robert, take us to commercial.
Alrighty, we'll be back with more of Pyle and Company after this.
Welcome back to Pyle and Company. It's time for this week's Throwback Saturday segment, and this week, in order to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, we got a segment we did back in 2013 about the traditions that most people celebrate in St. Patrick's Day. And here to tell us more about that is Trenton Byers.
St. Patrick's Day is a cultural and religious holiday celebrated every year in order to celebrate Irish culture. In the 17th century, St. Patrick's Day was made an official feast day and is observed by most Catholic churches in Ireland. St. Patrick's Day is a day that generally involves public parades and festivals, and wearing a green attire or shamrocks. Christians also attend church services, and the Lenten restrictions on eating and drinking alcohol are lifted for the day. You'll often find lots of green everywhere you look on this day. The most likely of the places you can find it would have to be the White House water fountain in Washington, D.C. Awesome. Or even the Chicago River in Chicago, Illinois. They traditionally dye the water green for the special day every year. That's awesome. And even sports fans and sports players show off their green by wearing their green uniforms. So whatever you do, we hope you have a happy St. Patrick's Day, whatever you do. But please do not forget to wear your green.
Thanks, Trent. Before we go, did you know that when people first celebrated St. Patrick's Day, the official color wasn't green, but rather the official color was blue? Over time, though, people started wearing green ribbons and green hats and green everything. That green eventually became the official color of St. Patrick's Day, and people still celebrate it by wearing green every year on this special day. We'll be back with more of Pyle and Company after this.
Welcome back to Pyle and Company. You know something? We need some laughter. We need some jokes. And there's only two people that we can rely on every week to keep you guys laughing. So without further ado, here's the one and only Mr. No Name. Hey, Mr. No Name. Haven't talked to you in a while. How's it been?
Not too bad. I'm just ready to tell some jokes.
Hello, Mr. No Name. It's me again.
Oh, no!
Mr. No Name, where's that voice coming from?
Oh, him? Oh, that's just the voice inside my head.
The voice inside your head. Okay.
Hi, Robert. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, I think. Hey, Mr. No Name, I'm going to turn it over to you. And I'll see you later.
Okay, see you later.
Say, where's Butch McCain at? And what's that guy that's filling in for him? I know his voice sounds familiar.
Oh, him? That's Steve Freedman.
Steve Freedman? Yeah, I recognize his voice from all the TV promos and commercials that he does. Say, are you ready for a couple of St. Patrick's Day jokes?
Sure.
Okay. What kind of special hamburger do most restaurants serve in honor of St. Patrick's Day?
I don't know. What kind of special hamburger do most restaurants serve in honor of St. Patrick's Day?
Give up?
I guess so.
A St. Patty!
Bye.
Not so fast. You think you'd be able to get away from me that quickly, huh? Well, nice try, but no dice.
What is it this time?
Speaking of St. Patty's, when is an Irish potato not an Irish potato?
I don't know. What is an Irish potato, not an Irish potato?
When it is a French fry.
Bye.
Wait, I got one more for you.
Oh, no.
What would you get if you crossed Christmas with St. Patrick's Day?
I don't know. What would you get if you crossed Christmas with St. Patrick's Day?
You get St. O'Claus! Ho, ho, ho!
Mr. No Name and the voice inside his head, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And the voice inside Mr. No Name head, it was a pleasure to have met you.
Bye, Robert.
Nice to meet you too, Robert.
We'll be back with more of Pyle and Company after this.
The song is entitled Love Can Build a Bridge. And I hope you enjoy it. I gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet, to share with you the last bite of bread I had to eat. I would swim out just to save you in your sea of broken dreams. When all your hopes are sinking, let me show you what love means. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? I would whisper love so loudly every heart would understand that love and only love can join the trials of man. I would give my heart's desire so that you might see. The first step is to realize that it all begins with you and me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? You know, Adrian, I just wanted to tell you before you left that I had a fun time at Heartland these past couple of weeks. I made some new friends and talked to a couple of people that I haven't seen in a long time or don't normally see. And I'm learning more and more about our Lord. But we must grow up and we must move on with our lives. I pray that you have a wonderful second year at ORU, and hopefully I'll see you sometime down the road. I'm so happy to be your friend. Thanks. When we stand together, it's our finest hour. We can do anything, anything. We're believing in the power. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Love can build a bridge. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Whoa. Love, love, love. God bless.
Pyle and Company will return after these messages. We're always looking for special guests to appear on upcoming episodes of Pyle and Company. If you'd like to be a special guest on our program, leave us a note on our Contact Us section of our Pyle and Company website at www.pyleandcompany.weebly.com. Or you can leave us a message on our Pyle and Company Facebook page. Or you can send us an email to jacobpyle@jtpyle1@aol.com. Please include your name along with your email address and your telephone number.
Welcome back to Pyle and Company. We have enough time left in the show, so in order to celebrate spring, we have another poem for you about that. It's called The Old Oak Tree, and I hope you like it. Oh, I am but a simple leaf, withering within the gutter one summer of bliss now. Just an autumn flutter. For some, destined to fall upon stony ground, a part of life's infernal duration. Yet for those that fall within your reach, to live on within your soul. While limbs that stretch toward the solstice create vivacious veins as channels of hope. A pledge of foliation continues to endure what spring has furnished. Autumn expires. Yes, if we can but learn from nature's complex simplicity that life be of a cycle from the seed we are conceived, then let spring be my beginning, winter my exultant eve. Let our two cultures merge as one, the decomposed humus to become the sustenance, our transfusion the new beginning. Let us breathe the fragrance of born again. Let each slender limb, stout body bear our tenaciousness, each lyrical leaf our life's blood. Let us mollycoddle each precious tear that falls from an angry sky. Dance gracefully upon the wind, embrace on moonless nights, bathe in summer madness. Let us hear the bluebell call, the daffodil pray, the apple blossom bear witness, the clamor of the field mouse, the pit-a-pat of the butterfly, the silence of lovers in love. Let us be a sanctuary to the symbolic songstress, scuttling squirrel, vulgar urchin, a fortress for the warrior, a haven for the pacifist, an inspiration for the poet. The call of springtime we will invoke, logging representative we will gladly choke. Nature's guardian, this obliging old oak. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We hope you loved that poem. We'll be back with more of Pyle and Company after this.
Welcome back to Pyle and Company. And now here to do the song, Everybody Plays the Fool. Give it up for my co-host on Pyle and Company, Jacob Pyle.
Okay, so your heart is broken. You're sitting around moping, crying. Hey, you say you even think about dying? Well, before you do anything rash, listen to this. Everybody plays the fool sometime. There's no exception to the rule. Listen, baby, it may be factual, it may be cruel. I ain't lying. Everybody plays the fool. Falling in love is such an easy thing to do, but there's no guarantee that the one you love is gonna love you. Oh, loving eyes they cannot see, a certain person could never be. Love runs deeper than any ocean, clouds your mind with emotion. Everybody plays the fool sometime. There's no exception to the rule. Listen, baby, it may be factual, it may be cruel. I ain't lying. Everybody plays the fool. How can you help it when the music starts to play and your ability to reason is swept away? Oh, heaven on earth is all you see. You're out of touch with reality, and now you cry. But when you do, next time around someone cries for you. Everybody plays the fool sometime. Use your heart just like a tool. Listen, baby, they never tell you so to school. I wanna say it again. Everybody plays the fool. Listen, baby. Everybody plays the fool sometime. No exception to the rule. Maybe factual, maybe cruel. I ain't lying. Everybody plays the fool. Everybody plays the fool.
Pyle and Company will return after these messages. If you want to watch more episodes of this show, go to www.pyleandcompany.weebly.com. And please don't forget to like us on our Facebook page as well. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Steve. It looks like the old clock on the wall is telling me that our time is up for this week. But before we go, we would like to thank our guest announcer, Steve Freedman, for doing such a terrific job and filling in for Butch McCain this week. Hopefully Butch McCain will be back with us in the not-too-distant future. But if you do want to find out more information about Steve Freedman, go to www.stevefriedmanvoicetalent.com. And of course, we would like to thank our usual cast of regulars for joining us this week. Yours truly, Robert Nash, and the one and only Mr. No Name. Join us again next week when we'll be featuring some more songs, skits, and a whole lot more. We hope you guys can join us then. Take it away, Jacob.
What a difference you made in my life. What a difference you made in my life. You're my sunshine day and night. Oh, what a difference you made in my life.
Live from Indianapolis, I'm Robert Nash. Thanks as always for joining us. Have a great rest of your week. Good night, Jacob.
Good night, Robert. And live from our studios here in Tipton, I'm Jacob Pyle. Until next week, good night, and God bless my friends.
The voice inside Mr. No Name's head was portrayed by Jeffrey Pyle. The preceding program has been pre-recorded before a live audience. For Pyle and Company, I'm Steve Freedman.